Hello, people. uDemand is a real-time, collaborative learning platform for software development, producing self-reliant professionals with the mental fortitude to compete on global business networks. In this tutorial video, we'll take a close look at the Azure 303. Microsoft Azure is a cloud computing platform and infrastructure created by Microsoft for building, deploying, and managing applications and services through a global network of Microsoft-managed data centers. Following are the topics covered in this video series. Implement Azure Active Directory. Create management groups, subscriptions, and resource groups. Configure trusted IPs, guest users, identities. Implement virtual networking. Virtual networking peering. Implement VMs for Windows and Linux. Azure VM dedicated hosts, disk encryption. Azure Firewall. In order to learn more about emerging technologies, kindly give the channel a like, share and subscribe to it. Contact us for more details at sales@uDemand.org. Let's get started.
As part of this session, let me first brief you about the modules over here on AZ303. Both of you are aware about the significance of Azure certifications and significance of Azure Architect as well. So I'll first focus. I'm Azure Architect myself. I'm also a Microsoft certified trainer. So once it comes to Azure environment, this has been growing in terms of leaps and bounds. So as far as Azure Architect's role is concerned, so first thing that we have over here, once it comes to architecting, is about designing a solution or creating a solution, right? So it does not involve too much of implementation, okay? But that is your design part of it, which is AZ304. As far as AZ303 is concerned, this involves good amount of implementation as well, right? Since two of them are from development background, so that could be a slight, there would be good learning over here. Now the reason why I say this is, once it comes to your AZ303, this is more in terms of hardware, more in terms of implementation in terms of infrastructure. Okay, so you'll see things like hybrid identity, containers, microservices, right? Networking, working with existing application infrastructure. So there are quite a few things over here where we'll have to go ahead and implement these resources. Like Chinna rightly mentioned, we'll be doing a lot of hands-on over here. I have a subscription with me, so I'll do it over there. If you all don't have a subscription, I would recommend you create a free trial account on Azure, so you all can do your hands-on over there. On daily basis, I try my best to give you all some of the assignments, some of the reading material as well, so that we don't see this as a 2-week session. We see this, we don't see it as a 2-hour session on a daily basis. We see it as a 2-week session, and every day we'll invest around 2 hours during the session and 2 hours after the session during the day, whenever you all get time, right? To practice whatever we have discussed, do the labs that we are discussing over here, right? And that's how we will proceed further. And after this 2 weeks, I would recommend 2 more weeks of rigorous hands-on practice, and then you should be able to appear for your certification exam. Okay. So in case you have any questions, doubts, or queries, you can ask that. As part of this course prerequisites, this is what is the prerequisites: knowledge of virtual machines, virtual networking, virtual hard disk. So people who may have worked with AWS, they would be aware about these things in terms of networking resources, your DNS resources, firewall, right? People who have been working in terms of Java or .NET, they would have written some of the applications which is connecting to Active Directory or any other directory services for authentication, right? What it needs is around 12 minimum 12 months of experience on Azure environment. Even if you have this experience on AWS creating something similar over there, even that will be really, really helpful, right? My attempt over here will be to share maximum set of resources with you all in terms of reading is concerned or in terms of implementation is concerned. As far as these presentations are concerned, I will not be able to share the presentation because this is a MCT material, but you will be able to get maximum of these things on your Microsoft Azure documentation. These are the 15 modules that we have as part of our learning. And you'll see, starting from Azure Active Directory, that is building the foundations in terms of security and identity management. Then moving ahead with infrastructure as a service, which is networking, creation of machines over here, load balancing. Then moving further with data storage in terms of unstructured data using storage account, semi-structured data using NoSQL databases, Cosmos DB, going ahead with SQL database, then moving further with automation in terms of deployment and configuration of resources, again moving into security details using governance and security solutions within Azure. Module number 12, 13, here you will see this is more to do with development. And here you'll realize that the development over here is in terms of microservices, right? In terms of module 14 and 15, we are coming back to infrastructure once again for .NET applications, Java applications, what kind of or any kind of advanced solutions that you want to host over here. How would you look for application infrastructure, right? Apart from this, the last module here is implementing infrastructure monitoring using Azure Monitor and Log Analytics. Okay, so I would recommend you all complete your assignments on day-to-day basis, do the required reading, do the required implementation, and every session I'll begin with taking up questions from you all, and then we'll proceed further with the details for the next day. Okay, so I hope this makes sense to everyone. If you look at the percentage distribution, maximum weightage is for Azure infrastructure. So Chenna would have an upper hand over here since he has already worked on the infrastructure piece. But I would say others also should start looking at the infrastructure components because that is around half of it. You'll see around 55%. Now all these are relevant weightages. If you look at management and security solutions, another remaining 30%, and then you have apps and data platform, right? So too much focus is not on development and data. Maximum focus is on infrastructure and security. This is just one paper, so I would recommend you all should go ahead with both the papers. First is AZ303, which is technology implementation, and second is AZ304, which is design. So once you complete both these certifications, what you get is certified solutions architect expert, which is your 304 exam. In terms of hands-on lab, I will not be providing an Azure pass in this. You'll need to create your own Azure trial account. As far as for hands-on lab is concerned, for hands-on lab, I'll give you the lab guides as shared by Microsoft so that you can implement that. The labs are very well designed, step-by-step guidance. So 1 or 2 labs, I'll do it with you, so you can get a complete idea of that, and then you can proceed further on your own as well. If you look at the reading material over here, there's a lot of information available on different sources of Microsoft itself. One of the common things which I will be using here would be Azure documentation, Azure Architecture Center, where I'll discuss the reference architectures, cloud design patterns, right? I would recommend you all use a OneNote or Word document. I don't think this is copying the links. Not an issue. I'll share these links separately with you all.
Yeah, it doesn't copy the links. Basically, you have to
Yeah.
you can copy it.
Because some of these sessions I have been doing on Teams. So within Teams, it copies the links as well. Here it's not copying. Not an issue. So as we proceed further, I will put the appropriate links over here, so you can make a note of them. So anyone, any questions before we begin the first module?
Subhash, hi, this is Arjun.
Yeah,
I have questions.
Go ahead.
Right. So for the 303 exam, certification exam, we do not need any prerequisite certification, right? So so I do not have any previous certification with any of the Azure. So I should be able to take the AZ303 directly without any prerequisites,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, got that. Thank you.
Okay.